Thank you, Michelle. Good afternoon, all. Well, it can feel like an interminable wait between semi-final and final, but the time has at last arrived. Normality craved, but so difficult to achieve. But there is nothing normal about the wall of noise that hits you at Wembley Stadium. Extraordinary outpouring of support for both clubs, well over 30,000 supporters representing each of the two clubs. The presentation party, Rick Parry of the EFL and Dan Colton, Managing Director of Sky Bet, will meet and greet Ricardo Santos, hoping to become only the second Bolton Wanderers captain to walk up the steps at Wembley as a winner twice. That distinction achieved by Joe Smith, who was twice an FA Cup winner in the 20s. Indeed, in the very first final at the old stadium, which descended into chaos, order restored by some quick thinking from PC George Scory and his horse Billy, to manage to get the teeming masses off the playing area. And the brilliant David Jack put Bolton en route to victory by scoring the first ever goal at the old stadium. It's an enduring union, Bolton and Wembley. Oxford experience less frequent, but they will look to summon up the spirit of 1986 when Maurice Evans' men got their hands on the Milk Cup, their only major trophy, and 2010 when Chris Wilder and co won finally the long battle to regain their cherished league status. Bolton winners here just over a year ago in the EFL Trophy, but doubtless an occasion of much greater pressure. And we will now pause at Wembley Stadium for the national anthem. The gilded stage beautifully set for the grand playoff occasion. Well, Bolton are able to call upon 6 Wembley winners from just over a year ago in their starting lineup when Wanderers won the EFL Trophy emphatically against Plymouth. The back three, Josh Sheehan and George Thomason in midfield, and Dion Charles, who's enjoying another 20-goal season. Heartbreak, though, for Randall Williams. A whack in training at Brentford yesterday rules him out completely. Daniel Ogbeta, scorer of the opening goal in the much-discussed 5-0 win over Oxford in March, comes in at left wing back. Oxford's response to that significant setback has been admirable. They've rediscovered the quality of resilience while still harnessing some considerable attacking talent. Cameron Brannigan is a critical figure in midfield. He, along with Elliot Moore, started on their last visit to a playoff final, which was behind closed doors 4 years ago, as did Sam Long, whose goal line heroics at Peterborough in the semi-final second leg, one of the major reasons they are here. He replaces Finn Stevens at right back. Well, tremendous playoff experience as a player, twice a winner with Blackpool. He's tasted glory here at Wembley as a manager in what has been a thrilling ride. He's almost the midwife to the rebirth of Bolton Wanderers Football Club. Des Buckingham, a man named Buckingham who is Oxford through and through. Brought in the rare scenario of coming in to take over an already successful team. He's put his own stamp on it. Elliot Moore having the pleasure of leading Oxford out at Wembley. Captain today, Rob Dickey had that honour 4 years ago. Referee Zamora in charge. Remembering what they did well last year will be important for Bolton Wanderers. They've gone through the same routine. Trained at Brentford yesterday, staying in the verdant surroundings of Syon Park, south of the Thames. While Oxford, well, they were in the heart of the city last night at Marble Arch. They trained on their own training ground yesterday. Both, though, visited Wembley yesterday to get a feel. Do the tourist bit, as Ian Evatt put it.
Well, Dan, I think it's pretty clear that Bolton start the game as favourites, but Oxford's form, recent form, just one defeat in the last 10 since losing 5-0 at Bolton. I think it's closed the gap between the teams. They were pummeled in that game at the Tough Sheet. Have they learnt lessons? Can they beat Bolton in May? And they got well beaten in March.
The League One playoff final is underway. First aerial test for Kieran Brown. Sanlong brought into the side today, an adaptable defender who can operate as full-back or centre-back. Possibly of less attacking inclination than the man he has replaced, Finn Stevens. Early burst forward by Paris Magoma, who's such a good carrier of the ball, but met in somewhat no-nonsense fashion.
It's an opportunity for Long to play the ball and maybe catch the man as well. His first thought is to play the ball, but this is an opportunity to catch maybe a very dangerous creative player with the follow-through. But straight from the kick-off, you see Cameron Brannigan for Oxford heavily involved, just playing that protective role in front of the centre halves. I think playing him in that pivot position a little bit deeper, I think it helps out defensively, it gets him on the ball. His range of passing is outstanding. So I think moving from a more attacking position to a deeper lying one has helped Oxford enormously.
Well, he is about as defensive as it gets in that Oxford midfield, and he's a very attack-minded player.
Yeah, it just seems to be the trailing leg of Long as he comes in with his right foot, plays the ball. It's just his trailing leg catches Magoma, who maybe doesn't expect the challenge to come in, can't jump out of the way, and it's just an impact injury. Let's hope he's okay, because he's one of the most creative players we've got out there today. We need him to stay involved.
Well, it's heartbreak for Randall Williams, who almost certainly would have been in the starting lineup had he not suffered that whack yesterday. What timing! And you can only imagine his thoughts at this moment.
Yeah, you do have to feel for Williams, who's been in excellent form as well. Yes, they've got on better to step in, but for Williams, all the hard work he's put in to get a knock in training the day before the biggest game of the season, it's devastating.
This is Toll, scoring the semi-final second leg and potentially a real threat at set pieces for Bolton today. course, applying the pressure, which is a big part of his contribution.
Yeah, just to see how high up the pitch Oxford get, because of the game at the tough sheet, they lost 5-0. They just got pinned into their own half, couldn't get out. Bolton were on the front foot for pretty much most of the game, dominated the possession. So for Oxford, it's important when they can, they get up to the halfway line. There was an opportunity there. It's a poor forward ball from Elliot Moore, but Josh Murphy made a clever run from wide on the left into a central position, looking to get in behind the high defensive line that Bolton were playing, and it was just a poor forward ball from the centre half. You see he makes his run, Murphy. Should be a close call in terms of offside, but that's clever from him, trying to turn Bolton around.
Well, he's extra motivation this season. He was determined to prove a few critics wrong. Came in with a desire to, in his words, play his socks off this season, and he certainly has when fit. Here is Moore. Kudrum, who is a player who loves to go at opponents and can provide that little bit of spark. Really distinctive player.
Well, the opportunity, the corner, comes from Oxford, as I mentioned, stepping up the pitch onto Josh Sheehan, who's normally so reliable with the ball at his feet. They pressured him, he lost the ball, and then suddenly Oxford are breaking forward, and they get this set piece, an opportunity for the big lads Brown and Moore to come up from the back.
Moore making a signal. You remember that he did come up with a winner in the first leg against Peterborough at the Kassam Stadium. He's loitering at the back here. May yet help retrieve the situation for Oxford. Brannigan able to pick it up. Here's Owen Dale. Very astute winter window acquisition for Oxford. This is Jamie Cumming in their goal.
I think it's very important for Oxford if they can get Murphy and Owen Dale high up the pitch. That'll then force the Bolton wing-backs, Ogbeta and Dacres-Cogley, to track back to become part of a defensive five. Normally when Bolton dominate the ball and they force opponents back, those two wing-backs play very high. They did it the game at the tough sheet. They both scored. In that high position, the supply line from the wide areas really caught Oxford out.
Fresh ball for Sam Long. It will mean as much as anybody on this pitch today to succeed. A player who joined Oxford at the age of 8. Des Buckingham coached him in the under-9s.
I suppose it's about the only Oxford position up for debate, whether it be Finn Stevens or Sam Long to play at right back.
Charles looking to put himself about. An injury-interrupted season. He reckons he'd have got at least 25 goals if he'd been fit throughout. Really enjoyed his time at Wembley last season, and a great student of Bolton Wanderers history. I was talking to him during the week. He didn't just reel off the Okochas. He brought up Mikel Alonso, who only played 7 Premier League games during a loan spell. He's a walking encyclopedia.
Well, if he impresses you, he's doing something right.
Thomason. Oh, better involved.
See Aaron Collins there dropping off into a creative midfield position. He won't at times play up alongside Dion Charles. He'll drop in and try and be that creative spark.
Bolton a little loose, and Goodrum can get Oxford going again and feed Dale. Long.
Well, Oxford do well to win the ball back initially, but they're slightly laboured going forward. That just enables Bolton to get defensively set up.
Looking to get Brannigan into a useful position here. Well, whether he's nominally the holding midfielder or not, he's got attacking inclinations that he'd be keen to exploit, and Oxford will be desperate to see him do so when there is the chance.
It's the sign of the confident start that Oxford have made, releasing Cameron Brannigan to get into forward positions. It can be so dangerous when he gets in there. It's a real surprise, actually, the way that Oxford have started, dominating the ball. They've expected Bolton to do this to them. High up the pitch as well, Oxford. There's Booking will be very happy with the way the game started.
Long. Owen Toll shut the door, and an enterprising run.
There's brilliant footwork from Josh Sheehan, because he's got Oxford players all around him, just bounces the ball between his feet, gets out of a really sticky situation.
We've been lost in admiration regarding his performances this season in that key role at the base of Bolton's midfield.
Yeah, he performs well himself, but he frees up so many players. The wing-backs can play high up the pitch. Magoma and Thomason can step forward as well, knowing that he's behind and rarely gives the ball away.
Brannigan certainly making his presence felt. Thomason was not too happy.
Yeah, Thomason clearly feels that, you know, Brannigan didn't have to kind of follow through and catch better there, could just play the ball out. It's just that maybe slightly raised left arm, nothing too serious in it. It's aggressive. Thomason, he's that type of player as well, so the referee will just have a quick word. Sam Barrett, should mention him as well. He's had a brilliant season, deserves to be refereeing such a big game. Because, Mike, we talk a lot about players being in form, but Sam Barrett, some season, Premier League for the first time, refereeing as well.
Yeah, he's refereed well this year, Sam, to be honest with you, and he deserves his chance. He's finished high up on the merit table, and he deserves his chance today at Wembley Stadium.
Well, quite rightly, a change of attire for the grand occasion for the two respective head coaches today. I know Ian Evatt is a very superstitious sort. He's right shoe on first, and a few others which he has not disclosed.
And it's shoes, not trainers, for Ian Evatt.
It's his second Wembley experience of the season. He was here for his hometown club, Coventry's heartbreaker against Manchester United in the FA Cup. Hoping very much to cross paths with them again next season. It's Kieran Brown. Owen Dale involved again. Long. Ruben Rodriguez, happy experience here last season with Notts County. Sheehan is penalised.
There's a little give and go from Rodriguez, and Sheehan just blocks him off. It's patient, confident football from Oxford. He plays the ball, looks to step around Sheehan, who realises what's happening. He's caught on his heels, so he just sticks out that right leg and takes him out.
Murphy. That's certainly required defending. But flag up.
There's actually a pull of the shirt. The referee in a good position to spot this. It's a good ball in into that corridor, into space between goalkeeper and defensive line. But Bolton have defended it pretty well. It was just a shirt tugged down the far post. Sam Barrett spotted that.
Indeed, he did. A dicey moment. Mark Harris is always likely to pounce on a situation like that. Picked up here by Goodrim, who's already exerted a notable influence on proceedings. Experienced Bennett. Murphy. Bennett losing out on that occasion. Baker's Copley able to bring it away. Well, Mulligan is getting a little over-involved here.
Yeah, he's looking to break forward. He's got goal side of Goodrim, who just nudges him in the back. It's a free kick, nothing more.
Certainly want to keep an eye on. To make the challenge, Collins. Oh, an opportunity here. They're better trying to work the opening to shoot. Toll. Thomason. Sheehan. Given an invitation. And keen to accept. He's saying he got a touch on its way through.
Yeah, he doesn't really wrap his instep around it. He's given far too much space to get the shot in. He hits it too true, too straight, so it's always going to go wide of the post. There may be a touch from the goalkeeper. Sheehan definitely thought so, but I think the previous attack all started again with Aaron Collins, that attacking intelligence, dropping into pockets of space, stepping away from Dion Charles. Space between the back four and the Oxford midfield, so he's using that space really intelligently.
There were some questions when he arrived as to how easily he might fit into the Bolton system, which is notably different to that which he experienced at Bristol Rovers, but he certainly answered any questions of that nature pretty emphatically with his performances.
Well, he's brought in to score goals, he's certainly done that, but as he's shown on a couple of occasions in this game, he has the ability to use his brain and get into positions to affect the game in other areas.
Thomason well forward, but it bypasses him.
It's been a really impressive start to the game from Oxford. Another example of that is how they're starving, really, the Bolton front two, and Dion Charles in particular, of the ball. Again, he's got to keep going, keep believing opportunities will come. I'm sure they will. But in the opening, 17, 18 minutes, Bolton have had a lot of the ball as a team, and they've certainly not been able to get Dion Charles involved whatsoever.
Also ahead of Murphy, a little hand in the back from Gethin Jones.
I do like the way the Oxford front three are becoming the first line of defence when they don't have the ball. You can see them all there, the three of them. Attacking trio becoming defenders in essence, high up the pitch, making it difficult for Bolton to comfortably play out from the back.
There's a little bit of a slight change to their usual setup in that regard, because we often see Ruben Rodriguez, as he is doing now, move in alongside Mark Harris in the centre there, and the wide men are usually a little deeper in that situation, so it's a notable tactical change. This is Ricardo Santos, and now Sheehan for Bolton. Roadblock by Ruben Rodriguez. Goodrum, who has for a long time been deemed more effective operating from a wider position, but he's really revelling in his central role. Just to look over his shoulder a bit more. A bout of Oxford looseness, gifting Bolton a chance to build, although it's all a bit static.
Bolton just starting to get a bit of possession though, getting higher up the pitch. They've just got to sharpen up. It's been a laboured start from them.
Long winning that particular battle. Now Brannigan. Certainly fired up for the occasion, which can be healthy, but just the sense that it could go too far.
Oxford are fighting fire with fire. Normally Bolton step onto every team they play. They did against Oxford in that home game that they won. You can see in this game Oxford stepping onto Bolton, making it really difficult for them to play through them. Santos and Toll in possession there. There's not a lot of movement ahead of them. A lot of Bolton players just standing still because of that solid defensive setup from Oxford. There's no obvious forward ball.
A few roadblocks being set by those in yellow. Kieran Brown. Ricardo Santos up against Harris. Came out the winner. There was not always the conviction there that he would.
An example though, the work rate off the ball from Mark Harris, because it should be fairly comfortable for Santos to deal with that. And Harris made it really uncomfortable.
Rodriguez. Harris involved again. Just seeing a chance to win the ball and taking it. There is a foul on Magoma.
Well, I just wonder whether Brannigan is looking to maybe escape a yellow card here, because he clearly pulls his man back. It's cynical. It's a good strong challenge from Santos there. Magoma looks to be getting away. A bit of good fortune with that took of the shorts, the shirt. The referee slightly lenient there. What do you think, Mike? Anything in that?
No, it's just a free kick. I think he's trying to let the game breathe a little bit and try and give the players a bit of a chance, not to put somebody in the book early, give them a chance to get on with the game.
Well, that's wickedly whipped, if not what he initially intended there, Ogbeta.
Oh, that's a miss-hit cross, but how many times do you see this type of situation, this type of ball into the box, end up dropping over the keeper's head and in at the far post? This is what Ian Evatt will want more. His wing-backs are better. Dacres Cogley high up the pitch, providing the width, looking to put decent service into the box. On that occasion, just overcooked it.
Goodrum. Harris. He's a very selfless player, but he's been told lately to do more of that running in central positions rather than flog himself. Save a bit of the energy for the penalty box stuff.
My old Everton teammate Craig Short on the coaching staff at Oxford, I was talking to him about this. A decent run of form. The players that he talked to me about were Mark Harris, his work off the ball, leading the defence really from high up the pitch. Yes, he scored goals. I also mentioned Elliot Moore as well, gets the defensive basics right. So defensively, offensively, they've got key players getting their jobs absolutely spot on.
Craig Short, twice a playoff final winner with Notts County. Indeed, scored the winner against Tranmere in 1990. Sorry, Mike. This is long. Stale. Advantage played here as Dale was sent to tumbling. It's Rodriguez!
That's brilliant refereeing, because Owen Dale, yes, is taken out, but look at the position that Oxford are in with Rodriguez. Advancing central position, and maybe get a decent passing, killer passing, get a shot in. So again, the referee in the right position to allow the play to go on, does the right thing, looking to let the game flow, as Mike was talking about. I was asking Mike, again, about a referee's preparation for a game like this. We talk about players and what the occasion can do to them. Is it just as difficult for the referees?
It is this week. It's a completely different scenario. Obviously, he'll prepare the same as usual, but when you're out at Wembley, energy sapping, a lot more nerves. They know what to stake. You know, one blow of the whistle can like define or end a team season.
Ricardo Santos not exactly blessed in his view with an array of options there. Oxford making it so difficult for Bolton to make progress in the way they want to. Ethan Jones across to defend again. There's Magoma.
There's the three Oxford attackers going man for man on the three Bolton centre halves. We've not faced that a lot this season, Bolton, so it is a question of working it out as the game is going on.
Better. Elliot Moore, who got his head and feet to so much at London Road in the second leg of the semi-final, is there again. Counting it a huge privilege to have the honour of leading Oxford United out here. And played a crucial part a little earlier in the season, prior to a match with Portsmouth, in which they performed very well at Fratton Park, to get all the players together on his own initiative, to have a meeting and sort a few things out. Always the biggest voice, but he's a huge example for his colleagues.
That's proper leadership, isn't it? Again, there, see Bolton in possession. Aaron Collins on the halfway line, looking to get on the ball, influence things.
Collins, that's where you suspect the spark will come from for Bolton, and they're very aware of it, those in yellow.
The Oxford defenders, midfielders have to be communicating well about Aaron Collins, the positions that he's taking up. If you can't track him, stay with him, you've got to pass him on. Got to talk to each other, because he's going to cause you a problem if you allow him time and space to play in.
Trying to get things going in every sense. It's been surprising from a Bolton perspective that give Oxford all the credit for the way they have applied themselves and the plan that they have come up with.
Apart from the lack of a goal, the opening one, close on half an hour, has been really decent from Oxford. Their shape, their appetite, they've made it difficult for Bolton to play and gotten the ball themselves.
Collins made a move. Sheehan might have to look at something different. No, he will find Collins. Better looking to drift in behind. Toll. It's Jones. Finds his fellow goal scorer in the EFL Trophy final. And Dion Charles just simply not able to get him involved at all. International footballer now with Northern Ireland, and that has lifted his confidence hugely, playing against top-level defenders. And the one-on-one management of Michael O'Neill has been a big benefit to him as well, he was telling me the other day. Oxford's enterprise and successful implementation of the game plan. Nathan Baxter with nothing yet to do. Well, Cameron Jerome certainly enjoys his Wembley visits. Unbeaten here. Indeed, he was involved in the first ever official game here at this stadium. You may remember the 3-3 draw between England's under-21s and their Italian counterparts. Scored in the playoff final against Middlesbrough at Championship level 9 years ago, and he can still recount just about every second of that particular occasion.
I was talking to Cameron pitch side before the game, and he's what, 37 now. I was saying to him, just keep on playing, you're fit enough, just keep playing, you're a long time retired, and his thirst for goals certainly hasn't dried up.
Drifted forward by Ruben Rodriguez, and Murphy has worked an opening here. It came off Ricardo Santos. Ecstasy for Oxford. No surprise that it's Murphy who made it happen. And Wembley Stadium is yellow and blue.
Well, Josh Murphy was the Oxford player we probably thought could massively affect the game, and that's exactly what we've seen. But defensively, Dacres Cogley up against him. You can't turn your back on him to allow him to drop a shoulder, get onto his right foot. Yes, it's good fortune, but they deserve it, Oxford, by the way they've started the game. They pinned Bolton back, they've got their danger man on the ball. Not good enough defensively from Dacres Cogley, and then if you strike it goalwards, any touch, because the pace that's on it can take you past the goalkeeper. That's exactly what happens. You know, you whip it, the defender tries to clear it, it's instinctive, you try and stick your head on it. But it goes in Oxford's favour. The touch from Santos takes it away from Nathan Baxter, but it all comes from positive play from Josh Murphy and poor defending from Bolton.
Well, Aaron Collins in discussion with the skipper. Well, they've got to rediscover themselves here, Bolton. Mark Harris in distress. Well, a job well done so far, but so far the operative words.
Yeah, it's pretty much the perfect opening half an hour or so. And the one thing they had been lacking was a goal. They've got that now as well. They've just really nullified Bolton. And the difference between the game in March to this one is extraordinary. But, you know, as a defender, got to do more than that. You've got to know what Josh Murphy is looking to do. You've got to stay facing him. You've got to jockey across. You've got to try and get a block in there. You can't allow him a couple of metres of space because he'll hurt you. He'll get a shot in, then anything can happen.
Well, the team that suffered was sore after their visit to the aptly named in the circumstances Tough Sheet Stadium back in March are leading their counterparts from Bolton.
And that's the first goal they've scored against Bolton this season.
There's a goalless draw in Des Buckingham's first home game in charge after he'd replaced Liam Manning. And again, where Bolton showed the greater attacking intent. So everything has changed. And now it needs to change drastically for Bolton. Alice is back involved and ready to apply his energies.
Yeah, the challenge for Oxford is to keep doing what they've been doing, what's enabled them to take the lead. Keep that going, don't sit back and try and protect it. You can see that defensive setup, 4-3-3, incredibly difficult, as we've seen, for Bolton to play through.
Getting it into Sheehan to really get started is in major difficulty, so they're having to go a little more direct like this and produce some urgent defending from Kieran Brown.
I'd say that is some recovery, because I think you should be dealing with this, a long, hopeful, straight ball. Your favourite for it, you're a couple of metres ahead of your man. Because of the pace that Charles has, it's a problem. All you can do is recover and get the timing of the challenge right, and he does that.
Although Intel has been a significant threat in these scenarios, with 5 goals this season, often pops up in that back post area as he has here. The delivery a long way from what was required. Ruben Rodriguez a little frustrated that he wasn't able to go on.
Well, when you're struggling to dominate the game and you get a set piece like that, you've got to make the most of it. The big lads are up from the back. It was a shocking ball in. It's easily defended, then they commit the foul, Bolton, so they can't build up any momentum. Just haven't really got going at all. Haven't put, 5-10 passes together, really tried to open Oxford up. They've really had a problem.
I'm sure an Ian Holloway mantra from their days together at Blackpool will have been going through Ian Everett's head in the wake of that setback. He said to his Blackpool players that day, if you go behind, grab the ball, stick it on the spot, get your chest out and go again. And they recovered from an early setback that day in one of the most thrilling finals we've ever seen at Wembley.
Yeah, you can't feel sorry for yourselves. You've got to react. That's what Bolton have to do here. No real signs of it. In the last couple of minutes, though.
To get it into midfield where Sheehan can exert an influence. Now Thomason. Collins picking up an interesting pocket of space there. Just got away from him at the vital moment.
A better touch there, and that is a major opportunity. Better from Bolton. Slick passing, getting Thomason, attacking midfielder on the ball, and then getting Collins in space in the box. I think he tries to control it, does he, with the outside of his boot. It is more difficult, but the player that he is, he should be killing that stone dead. So the ball is zipped in, he does, he tries to control it. It's more difficult the outside of your boot, gets away from him. And the foul is committed and the attack comes to nothing.
Santos to me. Charles showing willing here, but Cumming is in control. Collins doing well. Goodrum trying to win it back there for Oxford. Charles, Brannigan. Santos imposing himself, so too there was Tyler Goodrum.
It is a foul on Sheehan, but it's going to happen to Oxford because the way every player is being so aggressive off the ball, occasionally you get challenges wrong, give away free kicks.
It's Magoma. Collins. Just ran away from Thomason. Joe Bennett away. Well, there's going to be, I suppose, a natural tendency to relax a touch, having got the advantage. And it's always an energy-sapping place, whether you like it or not, Wembley. And the attitude that's got them where they are needs to be sustained. Sheehan. Foul on Sheehan. Well, it's the usual sort of thing from Ruben Rodriguez.
Well, thankfully, both players are okay. When they run across each other like this and you're not prepared for the collision, the way that Sheehan goes down, you really do fear for him because he's maybe caught by an arm, elbow. Thankfully, he's up and okay.
Animated response from Ruben Rodriguez, who's definitely a player with an edge, which they don't particularly want to smooth out. Some good work there by Charles. Now better. Charles making an offer now. Rodriguez having to get that right. Sam Long in the right place.
A great positioning from the fullback. He's got Rodriguez out there doing his defending, so he drops into a dangerous area, becomes an extra centre half, and he's able to clear the danger.
Signal comes, but the ball can be comfortably left.
Well, that really sums up the first half of Bolton, one of their most reliable players, such a quality passer, deliverer of the ball. Overhits a set piece nowhere near any of his teammates.
Squirted there off the head of Magoma. And Ruben Rodriguez with a sure touch and a possibility here for Murphy, and he takes full advantage. It's a long way back for Bolton now. Well, they love it when a plan comes together. And Oxford's plan has worked to perfection. And Murphy pouncing to possibly put the playoff final beyond Bolton already.
It's attacking brilliance. Just watch though with Rodriguez. There's a little nudge on the goal as the ball comes down here. Just watch Rodriguez here. I think there's a little nudge. And it just stops Magoma getting contact on the ball. Rodriguez then picks it up, but his vision, his awareness, the way to pass, and then the movement of Josh Murphy is outstanding. You've got defenders ball watching, you've got Murphy on the move, he's reliant on a decent forward ball. It is, his touch is so important. And when you're moving at pace, this is difficult. To get the ball out of your feet, round the goalkeeper, and still keep it in a position to tuck it home is outstanding. This first half for Des Buckingham has been quite brilliant. On and off the ball, they've been better than Bolton. They deserve this 2-0 lead.
Well, Des Buckingham here as a fan when they won the conference playoff final back in 2010. He wasn't really conscious of what happened in 1986 when they won the Milk Cup so memorably at the old stadium against Queen's Park Rangers. But there is a picture lurking somewhere of a one-year-old Des in a big yellow sombrero celebrating that victory. I don't know if he's brought one with him. But we've been here in playoff finals at this level, where a two-goal half-time lead has proved fragile. Remember Rotherham? Remember Manchester City and Gillingham all those years ago? They are the cautionary tales. And Bolton fans will recall when they were 2-0 down to Reading in 1995 and came back and won so memorably. They've got to find another Fabian de Freitas from somewhere. Charles making a little darting run inside that penalty area. He has almost been completely eliminated from the game. And that's a sharp contribution there from Joe Bennett. Over 60 Premier League appearances to his name.
Just going back to that Murphy goal, the difference between his anticipation, expecting the ball to be played in behind the defence, and the Bolton defenders who are surprised when that pass comes. The difference is why he scores.
Collins wants to move inside. Well, tomorrow, perhaps the surprise final in League Two. Crawley and Crewe, the outsiders, Lockhorns, coverage from midday, kick-off at 1. And then a week tomorrow for the biggest prize. Leeds and Southampton, 3rd and 4th respectively. Locking horns in that great showpiece occasion.
I did wonder whether Oxford have learnt their lessons after that 5-0 battering at Bolton back in March. They certainly have. Their formation, their appetite on and off the ball has been just spot on. They've not allowed Bolton to dominate the game, which we expected them to do in terms of possession, where the game is being played. So they've got everything right, Oxford, in this first half.
Thomason, and McGonigal will pick it up, tight space, Thomason! And Long, appropriately positioned. And that was a nearly moment. The interception from Owen Toll was vitally important there. Plenty of added time at the end of this first half. Can Bolton get some sort of foothold? Harris, can you get away?
You have to credit Des Buckingham again. He's the coach. He makes the decision, being brave as well, asking his front three to step so high up the pitch and engage with the centre halves. But if they get bypassed, the team's in big trouble, but it just hasn't happened. They've not allowed Bolton to play through the thirds and get up the pitch.
Well, it's always a question of weighing up the risks and the potential rewards. And the major thinking is being done by Ian Evatt and Bolton.
Yeah, because in Oxford's previous games against Bolton, the wide players, whether it be Murphy, Dale, they've been virtually extra fullbacks. They've been pinned in by the Bolton wing-backs. That hasn't happened today. It's because that bravery, the front three, step up the pitch. Ask Bolton a question, and so far, they don't have any answers.
Brannigan. Dale. Decided perhaps to go the trickier route and get Mark Harris in. There's plenty of anxiety behind the goal to our right, where the Bolton fans are gathered.
Oh, the game back in March, Bolton absolutely pummeled Oxford. Not just in the scoreline, in terms of the overall game, they just weren't at the races, Oxford. So different today. And it isn't about Oxford necessarily dominating the ball, it's just the threat that they've carried, the belief that they have, how high up the pitch they've played, the aggression they've played with. That's why they're ahead, and that's why it's so different from that game a couple of months ago.
With just over a third of the possession, they have totally dictated terms. Dale, it's a little loose in the end, but Thomason will pick it up. Goodrum. Goodrum to go at Thomason and ask him a question. Result slightly off balance was tame. Well, talk about a perfect half and talk about contrast. Beaten 5-0 by this opposition as recently as March, but Josh Murphy has grabbed the bull by the horns, responsible for the 2 goals that have made the difference. One with a great deal of help from the head of Ricardo Santos, who left goalkeeper Nathan Baxter completely blindsided with that. But then latching on beautifully to the through pass from Ruben Rodriguez to double the lead. And quite simply at the moment, Bolton just do not have any answers. Half-time here at Wembley, Bolton Wanderers 0, Oxford United 2. Yes, thank you, Michelle, and it's at this juncture we warmly welcome to Wembley viewers on Sky Sports main event. So Oxford get us away. And I remember, Mr. Hinchcliffe, we were stood or seated in your case in roughly this point. I know you're getting old. When Leyton Orient took in a 2-0 half-time lead in this very fixture 10 years ago. And it's fair to say things changed, and we had that wonderful sight of Steve Evans marauding down the touchline in celebration. Oxford have got to retain that focus and concentration that served them so well.
It's just, can they keep up the intensity, keep up the bravery they played that first half with? And the boys at half-time talking about Bolton playing with more intensity, more tempo, but it's where to play those passes. They've not worked out how to hurt Oxford.
So Oxford 2-0 up. Josh Murphy instigating the 2 goals, scoring the second cleanly. The first deflected off the head of this man, Ricardo Santos. Oxford with the very well organised and excellently executed game plan that has served them extremely well so far. Bolton's considerable threat has been almost totally nullified. Bolton coming in many minds as big favourites. Gethin Jones loose. Ruben Rodriguez felled. The first move to the pocket. Referee Sam Barrett.
Gethin Jones just tries to redeem himself after a poor touch, because chasing after the ball, he's never going to get there. Takes his man out, who's got goal side of him. A yellow card, a pretty obvious one there, Mike, would you say?
Yeah, I think so, especially starting the second half, and obviously Bolton pushing. He's just knocked the ball past him and clearly took him out, so no attempt to play for the ball, so correct caution by Sam.
Gethin Jones, born in Perth, Australia. Well, Magoma was in difficulty early in the first half, and it's a similar story early in the second. Well, for those of you joining us just for the second half on Sky Sports Main Event, let's have a quick recap about how Josh Murphy has put Oxford within touching distance of glory.
Yeah, some poor defending from Bolton first, and Dacus Cogley turning his back, allowing Murphy to get the shot in, and then he's not reacting quickly enough. Santos, but that's just a brilliant forward ball. Defenders caught ball watching, their body positions are all wrong, and Josh Murphy just times his run in behind perfectly. His first touch is spot on as well, and Oxford in that first half were outstanding.
Sadly for Paris Magoma, and for those looking on with interest at his progress from Brentford as well, his afternoon comes to a premature conclusion. To replace him, a player who starred at Wembley just over a year ago in the EFL Trophy final against Plymouth. A warm greeting from those gathered to our right, wearing the white shirts of Bolton.
It's always devastating when a player has to go off forced off through injury, but Kyle Dempsey is a high-tempo, high-quality player, so could he be the difference for Bolton?
Waiting in the wings for his moment. Focus on the defensive at the moment. And more climbing emphatically and meeting it firmly. Collins will be penalised.
That's clever from Bennett, because he's just putting himself in between man and ball. Doesn't want to go back to his goalkeeper, he just wants to be fouled.
The old head in the side, getting his wish. He's perhaps a steadier defensive presence than Greg Lee, who is on the bench. Certainly contributed hugely to the Oxford cause this season. He has Dempsey to worry about here, Brown. Fresh legs, fresh challenge, and his first contribution, a really positive one.
Yeah, high tempo, high energy, chasing down a centre-half. Good work.
Dacus Cogley. A little drift away from Bennett there really easily, and Brannigan had to step in. Ricardo Santos, now Jones. Not seen an awful lot of that either. Centre-backs stepping out in possession to try and change things. Dempsey. Oh, better with a lot of room to work with here. Thomason wants it, and he has it. Well, he wanted handball.
Well, Kyle Dempsey coming on has certainly sharpened Bolton up. Excellent pass out wide as the cross comes in. It's Elliot Moore. His arm is close to the body, he's in close proximity as well. Mike will give us his view on that, but to me that's not a penalty, Mike.
No, not at all. It's come off his hand, it's hit his elbow, it's tucked into his body, so correct decision.
Dealt with by Cumming. Murphy marauding again, and he's got plenty of support here. He was unhappy with the challenge, but Better's intervention deemed fair and square.
We might see a bit more of the counter-attacking we expected to see from the off from Oxford if Bolton do dominate the ball. Oxford sit a little bit deeper. They still have that potential on the counter to get a third.
Dakers Cotley. Brannigan plugging a gap again. Bennett under real pressure there from Kyle Dempsey. And once we get rid of the second ball on the pitch, which they now have, proceedings can restart. Sheehan. Dempsey. All defending for Oxford to do.
This is much better from Bolton. Getting on the ball, getting up the pitch, most importantly, getting their key players involved in the game. And they find that touch of quality to get a goal back and make it game on.
Delighted with that. A few behind the goal are. Well, a real opportunity wasted there, but at least some signs of life as far as Ian Evatt is concerned. Focus, he says.
Yeah, this is probably what we expected in terms of the amount of possession that Bolton were going to have. It's about having that possession high up the pitch as well, and as we saw from the set piece, you need quality. You can't just lazily just knock the ball in and hope something happens. You've got to make it happen with your quality deliveries.
Playing both a role that might see him able to get higher up the pitch, but also to potentially negate the influence of Brannigan for Oxford. They have plenty of goal power, Bolton. Only Manchester City and Liverpool have outscored them in English football this season. The goal scorers, wherever they may come from, need a supply line.
We saw in the semi-final 2 games against Barnsley that Ian Evatt will send on Jerome and Adebayo to change things if he feels that his strikers are tiring. But his strikers really haven't had a lot of service, so it's how long he perseveres with Collins and Charles, and if he thinks about sending on his attacking duo.
Well, it's time for a trot. Adebayo on the left, Cameron Jerome on the right. And you're getting the sage counsel there of Peter Atherton and his technical team. I don't really think we need to dwell on that.
And a couple of set pieces are better for Bolton and Murphy for Oxford. Terrible.
Ricardo Santos. Charles going down possibly in hope rather than expectation.
I think for Charles, if you're trying to run through Elliot Moore, there's only one thing going to happen. You're going to end up on your backside.
Dempsey. Better. Dale will certainly be willing to get through the defensive work he needs to do. And a good stretch by Rodriguez, and now Murphy. The battle on with Jones. Murphy, hat-trick hunting! But not hat-trick getting this time.
Well, all afternoon he's just been incredibly positive, but this slide and pinch from Rodriguez is where it all starts. The weight of the forward pass is excellent, and again, the way Murphy, a couple of touches, gets the ball out of his feet, that enables him to create the opportunity for himself. The problem is the angle is getting tighter and tighter. So he does the right thing, trying to pick out the far post, but the angle's against him. And there you see the Oxford counter-attack. We're maybe going to see more of that than them dominating the ball and looking to pin Bolton back. They might sit a bit deeper and then break forward effectively as they did there.
Dempsey putting himself about again to good effect. Now better for Bolton. A moment to take an eye off it. And Dale securing a free kick and relieving what pressure was there.
It's really good work by Dale. Just secure the ball, protect it, get fouled. Just slows the game down, slows Bolton down, runs the clock down.
And there will be concern here over the player that Des Buckingham has described as the best midfielder in the division. Well, he suffered the anguish of defeat 4 years ago here amidst the eerie echoes against the team from just down the A40, Wycombe Wanderers. Is it going to be a different sort of anguish for him here with his team performing so superbly?
Oh, Josh Murphy's been standout for Oxford, but Cameron Brannigan is their most important player with the way that they play, the way that he plays, the leadership he provides. They simply can't afford to lose him.
Player of great conviction. Grew up a Manchester United fan, but turned down the offer to go there as a youngster, more convinced by what Liverpool had to offer. Certainly his dad played a major hand in that decision. And while he's playing a different role to that which we've become accustomed to seeing in his time at Oxford, he has absolutely excelled. Josh McEachran would be the obvious replacement, who did fill in for him not that long ago, a few weeks back, when he did suffer an ankle injury. So he may not yet be required.
Well, you're 2 goals to the good, but you don't want to play half an hour without Cameron Brannigan.
Waiting for the time period to elapse before he's allowed back on the field. He certainly wants to get back on there urgently, and now he can. Dempsey. Gethin Jones. Sheehan. Better. He's dug out a cross. It's Bennett who meets it. It's Sheehan. Didn't fall to his weapon of choice. It's Better. And long kept eyes firmly fixed on the ball. Thomason with a cross. Just drifted out of play.
Yeah, it's difficult for Sheehan because I think the Bolton fans are baying for him to strike it first time, but it kind of gets caught underneath his knees, comes straight at him. It's to left foot or right foot. He maybe can take that shot on first time, but it seems to come, straight at him. And it bounces awkwardly, so he has to control it before he can think about taking a shot on, and then maybe he does the right thing, just keeping the attack alive. But a lack of quality again. Thomason with the opportunity to cross, putting the ball out of play. That has to improve from Bolton if they're to recover this situation.
There's some forceful words being issued. Jack Iredale, as well as the 2 front men. Suggestion that their introduction may be imminent. Cometh the hour and all that. Dacres Cogley. Dempsey. Dakers Cogley with a threatening delivery. Sam Long in the thick of it there for Oxford.
Oh, Sam Long, the fullback, getting round on the cover. So important. The ball's on the other side of the pitch. Get round on the cover, get level with your centre-half. So when the cross comes in, your goal side of your man, and you can get to the ball first. His teammates appreciate his positioning there.
Brannigan in difficulty again. So there may be a little delay to this particular corner, as you may have gathered, a situation that has generally been a source of great profit here for this season for Bolton.
Well, he tried his best, Brannigan. His head is saying you're okay, but his body clearly, he can't carry on.
Well, they're going to go for a different option to Brannigan and Marcus McGuane. To McEachran, rather, as the replacement. It's heartbreaking for a player who has contributed so much to leave the great stage early. And you could see how fired up he was for the occasion right from the off. He leaves the stage hoping that his colleagues can see it through. And Marcus McGuane, a man with Arsenal and Barcelona on his CV, gets an unexpected opportunity at Wembley. Bolton waiting to see the outcome from this corner before they make their changes. Sam Long with another emphatic piece of defending. And now Murphy released. And the race is on. And Murphy's going to win it! But not able to beat Nathan Baxter.
Well, he's always going to run away from Josh Sheehan, but I think Sheehan just about does enough by running a line that kind of narrows the angle then for Murphy, so it's not easy for him to get into a central position, to get in on goal. The forward pass is an absolute beauty. Gets Murphy on his way, but Sheehan, that defensive run that he makes, just keeping Murphy, you know, wide of the target. It's a poor touch as well for Murphy, taking it even wider. That narrows the angle, the keeper can close it all down, and Bolton escape.
Well, Bolton making that raft of changes, and two of their real stars of the season, Josh Sheehan and Dion Charles, among those being replaced here. So the suggestion will be that it becomes the front three, or Collins will operate just behind the two strikers, one of the two. Plenty going on here, and Long coming in around the back.
Well, it's not an easy opportunity. You're running out of pitch, you've got white shirts in front of you. I'm not sure it was the plan, it was overhit, but Long did well to get anything on it. Just looking to retrieve it at the far post.
Mentioned Cameron Brannigan's ankle injury, which forced him to miss some action a few weeks back. Well, it is the ankle injury that he suffered against Burton Albion that has got the better of him here at Wembley. Well, there's to lose. Greg Lee being put through his paces. Dempsey. Now Gethin Jones. Jerome pointing the way in the middle. Beat Dacres-Cogley, who's switched to that left-hand side with the introduction of Iredale to the back three. Well, Paris Magoma's day certainly does not appear to be ending happily. So Collins just operating in behind the two front men, Adebayo and Cameron Jerome. A booking there for Dempsey. There didn't seem to be a lot of room for debate there.
Yeah, it's a forceful tackle. If you jump in like that, you've got to get something on the ball. He's nowhere near it. Gets away from McGuane. That tempts Dempsey in. And it's the right call, probably because the strength of the chance. Look at the referee's position though, Mike. Again, referee Sam Barrett, perfect position to spot that.
Yeah, he's on the ball today, Sam, and it's a big game for everybody, especially for the referee, you know. And what you don't want to do is be too far away from the game, make a wrong decision. He's right on top of it, and there's not one bit of dissent from any player when he makes a decision so far.
Brown. It's a forlorn chase for Owen Dale. Well, another 3/4 of the way through, in all probability. Bolton retain hope. Ricardo Santos. So in Toll, switching to the right of the back three now. There's a right-footed player. Ricardo Santos. Thomason. Collins. Bit of space to work with, going out more. Dacres-Cogley. Got away from him at a crucial moment there. Collins now popping up in the wide area and overcooking it.
Once again, lack of quality, but Dacres-Cogley there. I think he actually unintentionally takes two touches and the ball breaks his way. If he takes a good first one out of his feet here, we can see he plays it from right to left, ball gets away from him. So just a surer, more assured first touch will open the space up. He would have definitely got a shot in, but again, who's that aimed at? Wildly overhit.
Dale's clutches, which has denied Bolton any sort of chance to build some momentum. And if it's going to happen, something has got to happen pretty quickly. Iredale up towards Collins, but can't get a hold of it. Ruben Rodriguez seeking Wembley success in successive years. Scorer for Notts County last season. Pressure on Elliot Moore, who was happy to stand up to that particular challenge. Well, someone needs to take charge here. Well, it totally broke down there between Baxter and Iredale. And the end result, a free kick.
Well, Oxford patiently play their way out of trouble. And a long forward ball should be dealt with by goalkeeper and defender. It was a really, really tight call. And again, it's just that there's no communication, no decisive action taken here. Is it just outside the box? That's an incredibly tight call. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, VR's having a look at it. I mean, there's a bit of indecision. The ball's just outside the area. He has made contact. It's a free kick just outside the area. It's been checked by the VAR and been completed, so it's the correct decision just outside the area. But it's very, very tight call, and a correct call, I think, on field.
You have to give the on-field officials, again, a lot of credit, because that's not easy to see, is it? The angle of it, you don't expect maybe the keeper and defender to make the mistake. Correct decision by the on-field officials, really impressive.
It was Baxter and Cogley who got into the land of confusion, and the goalkeeper booked. Might be further punishment on the way. Gaining whatever extra advantage they can. Oh, flashed in by Joe Bennett. And Baxter alive and alert.
It doesn't matter how high the wall is, if you get the delivery right, you will bypass it. It's comfortably over the wall. Keeper's on his toes, had to be. He'll be anticipating that. Nathan Baxter expecting a left foot to try and whip it in at the near post.
Come out to McGuane, who's looking to put some pressure on Collins. There was something of a rearguard action in the second half for Oxford at Peterborough in the second leg of the semi-final. There were some heroics at the end when Peterborough chucked everything at it. Until that point they were pretty comfortable. Yet to be seriously tested here. Jones, though, well, he's gifted that really to Bennett, who turned the page the quicker.
I think it's fair to say in the first half Oxford forced the issue and got the lead. In the second half, I just think they've managed the game, as they did against Peterborough away from home, really well. They're not under massive pressure, but when they get on the ball, they do get up the pitch, relieve that slight pressure they're under. Just on and off the ball, they've been absolutely outstanding, playing in slightly different ways in each half.
A cross by Anaboyejo. Jerome was lurking. A player with very positive Wembley previous, but staring at his first Wembley defeat here. Well, they suffered in the playoff semi-final against Barnsley, having overcome the same challenge this year. Hoping for the perfect day on the showpiece day. The favourites have been upset. The underdogs from the great university city have so far put on a bit of a masterclass. It's Kieran Brown.
Bolton more than double the passes of Oxford, but you can see that the percentage of those passes in the final third, where they need to be, the most dangerous area on the pitch, isn't that much better. It's actually worse than Oxford, so again, got to get it in there, got to do more with it.
Jones looking to bring it down. Dakers Cogley dueling. Now the challenge on McGuane will be punished. It's Thomason who's collected almost as many cards as Clinton's this season, is going to receive another.
And McGuane is just too sharp for him. It's a slightly laboured, tired challenge. He just lunges in thinking the ball's there to be won. McGuane takes it away from him. Yes, he's going to pick up a yellow card for the challenge, but the counter-attack again was on for Oxford. If you're 2-0 up, you can sit behind the ball, then burst forward. Manages to escape the challenge, McGuane. Oxford are away. And the possibility of a third is always there for them.
Well, he will tell you, and he's right, that he's not a hatchet man. He's not that type of guy, but he has gone into the teens as far as yellow cards are concerned this season. Well, they were full of tension in a difficult period against Barnsley in the semi-final, but this is a different ball game. Etched with disappointment, but still holding out the faint hope that there might be a dramatic turnaround.
This is not the game the Bolton fans anticipated, not the performance from their team they would have expected, and it's so difficult to play.
And to give those Bolton fans some extra hope, it's a tickly time late on for Oxford.
And Bolton scored 19 goals in the final 15 minutes of League One games as well, so yes, if that's in the players' minds, it's something that Bolton could take advantage of.
Harris looking to take advantage of this. Ricardo Santos in trouble, but not now.
He did well to get to the ball, protect it, just needed to release that pass a bit quicker. If he'd done that, again, Oxford were away.
Mark Harris revealing his brand of choice. And messages for Dempsey and Dacres-Cogley. Josh McEachran, like Des Buckingham, an Oxford boy, is going to replace Ruben Rodriguez.
Well, Rodriguez has had a very good game. That little nudge on Magoma, the touch to kill the ball, the passing behind the Bolton defence for that second goal was sublime.
And McGuane and McEachran will swap roles. Oh, and Dale has an opportunity and Baxter goes a-wandering. The alarm bell's clanging for a moment, but the all-clear sounds, momentarily at least. A more successful adventure outside his penalty area there for Nathan Baxter.
Well, Owen Dale from that position was never going to score because the keeper, yes, he's outside the box, but he closed off the opportunity to score himself. He had no support either, Dale, so couldn't pick a pass out. And then Bolton looking ropey defensively.
Harris can pick it up. And Oxford looking more likely to finish with a flourish here. It's long in behind. Murphy waits. Is that his moment? I'm sure the desire, the personal glory of the hat-trick is burning within.
It's a brilliant run off the ball from long, but it's his choice of cross. Just watch, he realises that he can't whip it because Murphy's not going to get ahead of defenders, so he has to stand it up to give Murphy a chance. It's a brilliant cross. It's not an easy chance, but he scored two. You just want any opportunity to fall your way, and hopefully he can get that Wembley hat-trick.
Good club selection from Sam Long. Now he's back in his usual territory. Dacres-Cogley has delivered and Jerome is in there! Well, Bolton have not had many good sights of goal, but that was certainly one.
Is it a difficult chance because of the position of Kieran Brown? As the cross comes in, does he just get round on the cover, get goal side? He's appreciating where Jerome is. He doesn't win the ball, Brown, but he makes it difficult for Jerome to see the ball, to get a clear, clean header in. So I think he just about does enough.
An important piece of defending from a player who was their player of the year last year in a difficult season when he operated a lot at left back. We've seen him there on the odd occasion this year. And centre back, you're seeing the best version of him, he'll tell you. McEachran able to retrieve. And McGuane able to move away. Dale. Just to maintain control.
It's game management for Oxford, but Bolton, they have to be tearing after the Oxford players. They've got to get the ball back. Can't allow Oxford to settle.
Well, it's a bewildered and beleaguered Bolton at the moment, and I don't sense at all that they're a believing Bolton. Jones. A corner, and with a corner always comes considerable hope for Bolton. Jerome has plenty of presence. It's Iredale who's poised to deliver. Adebayo and Collins right in there, trying to make Cummings' life extremely difficult. It's right in the danger area, and Oxford breathing out quite the sigh of relief.
There's just no one arriving at the far post. Everybody's gone to the central goal or near post. It's helped on its way. Doesn't matter how it gets there, off an attacker or a defender. There's no one attacking the far post. It comes off Harris actually last.
The number 9 doing the crucial defensive job, and now Elliot Moore throwing himself at the ball to some personal cost, but he's put himself on the line countless times this season.
How brave is that? Because he must know, yes, I'm going to win the header, but I'm going to get clattered, but still doesn't duck out of it. Absolutely outstanding, brave defending.
There's a problem for Joe Bennett as well. But, well, knowing that there was going to be pain as well as defensive gain.
It's just a fabulous example of defensive desire to keep a clean sheet, to keep Bolton out. Brilliant.
Let's see what led to Bennett's issue. That the exertions are considerable, mental and physical.
There isn't long to go. I just don't feel that Oxford are holding on. They look very comfortable, but Greg Lee can come on for Joe Bennett if Bennett has to go off, so that shouldn't be a problem for Des Buckingham.
Well, they went through the same routine. Everything was planned with exacting precision, but I feel certain that Oxford have surprised them here today in a game where there are very few secrets and surprises. And the confidence is coming out. The club moving forward in so many ways. Ferguson, the chairman there, on the left, very much behind the new stadium plan, which could breathe new life into the football club. They don't own their ground. The lease expires on the Firoz Kassam Stadium in 2026. So Joe Bennett leaves the stage. Greg Lee, a real considerable contributor this season, is his replacement.
It's an extraordinary position that Oxford find themselves in. Liam Manning doing really well. They were challenging to finish in the automatic places. They slipped down the league. There's Buckingham. They got a grip on the team, but they got hammered 5-0 at Bolton. Probably thought their season might be over. They had other ideas. Excellent run of form to get into the playoffs, to get to the final, but then to perform like this, truly outstanding.
Well, it's the final day of the Premier League season tomorrow. Manchester City have it all in their hands. They face West Ham It will be an emotional farewell to Mr. Klopp at Anfield. And Chelsea chasing European football after a remarkable renaissance at home to Bournemouth. All the action tomorrow for you. Harris set away by Goodrum, and the corner is possibly his destination, or in the end he'll find Dale.
Yes, at this stage of the game, the corner flags get very attractive. But the forward ball from Goodrum again, the timing in the run from Harris. Even at this stage of the game, it's not just hit it forward and give it to Bolton and then retreat. It's, you know, keep possession high up the pitch.
Well, agony and possibly ecstasy in equal measure. The ankle injury forcing him to leave the pitch early. But the moment of triumph is not far away. Gethin Jones. Greg Lee, fresh of legs and mind, and the bounce was kind. And Harris, such a selfless figure. And he has certainly played his part in preventing Bolton from really getting going at any stage. Now McGuane behind Dale, so a bit of forward momentum lost. And forced to sudden auxiliary manoeuvres. McGuane, Lucas Cogley with him. Conceding the free kick. Well, there's been precious little good news for Bolton so far. But, they're about to receive some from the sidelines. Goodrum looking to skip away. That's a minimum of 9 added minutes. Goodrum in distress.
Yes, Goodrum and Thomason go into the challenge. It is a foul by Goodrum on Thomason. I just wonder whether something happens at the end of that as they both go to ground here. There's the foul. I just don't know whether maybe Thomason, does maybe an arm he catches him with? Yeah, he just catches him with his left arm. It's not intentionally trying to smack him in the face there. It's just one of those things, but painful for Goodrum.
Scene of tension and introspection. It's about to transform into a scene of joy unless something dramatic happens in the next 8 minutes. Toll had a little bit of freedom, but more, I suppose, a degree of inevitability there to meet the ball.
In the second half, Sam Long, Elliot Moore, Kieran Brown, outstanding.
Brown with another to add to the collection.
Every time the ball's into the box, I mentioned defensive desire, those three in particular, just so determined to get to the ball and do the job, defend properly.
I'm certainly not going to decry Sam Long's abilities as a fullback, but he's an extremely capable centre-back. They've effectively played with a 3 in some ways. Goodrum back, sporting not the most flattering of looks, but he won't mind that. He's never anonymous on a football pitch, even though he's nameless at the moment. He's done a terrific amount of video work with Chris Hackett, former wide player himself, who's really helped him adjust to this central role where he's been brilliant. Wouldn't quite run for Collins. Mike for Adebayo, but it's Marcus McGuane getting through plentiful work there, but hoping for a free kick which didn't come.
That's brilliant from McGuane, because his centre-halves had a problem there for the first time, and he was there to bail them out. That defensive insurance the midfielder provides.
Well, Murphy thought he was tucked there. It's away by Brown. Goodrum. Thomason in forcefully. Dempsey to deliver. And Cameron Jerome trying to keep his feet, trying to get hold of the ball, which just wouldn't come his way. Collins flopping to the ground in hope.
Yeah, there's maybe some contact there on Aaron Collins, but he goes to ground. It's not fouled.
Well, it's not a time for subtlety now, but here's Lee. It might be a time for further celebration if they can get it right here, Oxford. That's mopped up by Iredale. Thomason, Jerome trying to flick it and trying to battle against Moore, who's won everything. I was going to say almost, there's no almost about it. It's Long to bring it away. Thomason to try to shut the door, but he won't succeed. And that'll be cut off by Jones. Toll. Dempsey. Dempsey. Picked off. McEachran policing in front of what I was going to say a back 4. It's a back 7 at the minute. Dempsey. Thomason. And they'll fire it in there in hope that there might be a lucky bounce or deflection or some twist of fate that may help them. Jerome. Vickers Cogley being challenged, no question at all that it was anything else from McEachran. Dale. Well, I don't think you're going to surprise us, Andy, with your selection as player of the match.
Well, Josh Murphy takes the individual glory with his goals, but Oxford's success, their place in the Championship, is down to the team's performance. And Des Buckingham's decision on how he wanted them to play tactically, Des has got it absolutely spot on. Well, in the biggest game of the season, everything has gone right for Oxford. They've made it go right for themselves, and Josh Murphy, again, his movement, his composure, his finishing, his work rate off the ball as well, that really epitomised the overall Oxford performance here. Outstanding.
Here's Dale. And Murphy waiting, hat-trick chance, Goodrum in there. Oh, well, that was almost dreamland.
Well, if I'm going to get a hat-trick, I'm going to make it a spectacular one, because really, should you be taking that ball down on your chest and volleying it? But he thinks it's my day, so I'm going to go for the spectacular, get a hat-trick in the most extraordinary way, just completely mistimes the volley.
From receiving a yellow card. His attention's on the goalkeeper.
I think you're looking at every Oxford player here is at least an 8 out of 10. How many Bolton players can you give that mark to? Not many at all.
Well, so far below the standards they've set for themselves. They've played some quite thrilling football at times this season, racked up goal after goal at home, as Oxford can testify. But all that work for the second successive year is going to be for nothing in terms of tangible reward. And Des Buckingham, Oxford to the core, is about to have the kind of moment you dream of.
Yeah, for Des Buckingham, it's been a tactical masterclass. You can have an idea, but your players have got to put that plan, you know, in place. And again, it's just everything working together. The coaching staff, the players, the attitude, application on and off the ball. Everything was right about Oxford this afternoon. You've got Bolton, one of the most dangerous sides in League One. So many creative players, so many goals seemingly throughout the team, but Jamie Cumming has hardly had anything to do, and that's down to the team in front of him. They protected him quite brilliantly.
Oxford's class of 2024 have graduated with honours. Against the team that thumped them 67 days ago, they have produced an absolute masterclass. And the smile on the face of Josh Murphy says it all. His 2 goals, one greatly helped by the head of Ricardo Santos, have been the difference. But for the first time in the 21st century, a club that dwelt outside the Football League not that long ago will play in the 2nd tier once again. They expected the sternest of examinations here, but they nullified Bolton's threat completely and utterly, with a game plan that must have caught Ian Evatt and co by surprise. A team that have been so fluent, so formidable and so threatening throughout the season just could not lay a glove on them. And Jamie Cumming, the Oxford goalkeeper, might as well have been in the stands, given how busy or unemployed he was in the end. For Cameron Brannigan, a key figure throughout the season, had to leave the stage early through injury. But victory here is quite the painkiller. Everything they set out to do here today, they have done to perfection.
So it's no more than Oxford deserved. They were the better side, got everything right in terms of tactics, their application. Their players individually were outstanding. Collectively, you just couldn't break them down. They looked dangerous going forward, but it just shows that what happens in the regular season sometimes has no bearing at all on the playoffs. Oxford couldn't beat Bolton, couldn't score against Bolton, but they were by far the better team this afternoon.
Well, despair for Josh Sheehan and Bolton, but Oxford ecstasy, and we can get some reaction in the company of Jonathan Oakes.